Good evening. Happy Saturday. Oh my gosh, I had to stop and think what day it was first. How's everybody doing tonight? How is everybody enjoying the cool weather? I know Addie and I are, that's for darn sure. Tired of this heat. Cool weather's been a blessing, that's for sure. Being able to open windows and turn the air conditioning off is always a good thing. Been a lot cooler in our apartment here lately, almost too cool a few times, especially in the mornings. I think we're dipping down. It was in the upper 30s, low 40s here today, starting the day off, and I think it's supposed to be like that again tomorrow too. So yeah, Addie and I have just been kicking back, relaxing, self-care. We both slept in like extremely late today, which was really awesome. Something that I rarely do. She gets to do more often than I, but we both got the rest, and here we are. Shared on a topic earlier today in a meeting from the NA side, surprise, surprise, that I was in earlier. Today's just for today. That's why I'm live tonight. It's a good one. I think it's important to share. I think it's important to remain vigilant in our recovery, and here I am. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the reading up. If you guys want to comment along or comment later when you catch it later, that's cool. Please share it out to all your friends, family, loved ones that may need to hear the message. The more we share, the more we reach, and hopefully the more we help. Name of the game, guys. Let me bring this one up. Called A New Pattern of Living. A new way of life is the way I like to look at it. A new way to live. Says, we suspect that if we don't trust what we have, we're going to lose what we have. It makes sense. Says, addiction gave us a pattern to our lives, and with it came a very dark meaning. The meaning of dark, diseased meaning, for sure. Says, but the meaning nonetheless. The Narcotics Anonymous Recovery Program gives us the pattern of living to replace our old routines. If you work another program, that's fine. Just put your program in there. Don't worry about the NA side of it. Says, and with that new pattern comes new meaning to our lives, in our lives. One of light and one of hope. You know, NA's promise is the promise of freedom, hope and freedom. The message of hope, promise of freedom. Getting all tongue twisted tonight. Says what it is. What's this new pattern? What's this new pattern? What are they talking about? What's this new pattern of living that everybody keeps talking about? You know, instead of isolation, we might find fellowship. You know, instead of living blindly, repeating the same things over and over again. How many guys have heard that? You know, especially ones that may have been in and out of treatment. That definition of insanity, you know, doing the same thing, expecting different results. You know, it is. It's exactly what they say. It's insanity. Says repeating those same mistakes again and again. We regularly examine ourselves. You know, why do we keep doing this? That's when we start looking within. You know, usually the problem is always within. It's always me that is the problem somewhere. I am doing something wrong. I'm doing the same thing over and over again. Free to keep what helps us grow and discard what don't. You know, throw out what's not working. Hang on to what is working. You know, it's going to take some time. It says rather than constantly trying to get on our own limited power or self-will, says we develop a conscious contact with a loving power greater than ourselves, and try not to overthink that part of it. Just something greater than ourselves, getting outside of ourselves. Our life must have a pattern, some kind of routine every single day. To maintain our recovery, we must maintain those new patterns. Says of our program, whatever program you're working, we have to maintain those patterns, those routines, that structure, that stability that the program you're working is teaching you, that's teaching us. For me, it's NA. It says by giving regular attention to all these patterns that we're being taught, doing the step work, practicing the principles in all our affairs, we maintain the freedom we found from the deadly disease of whatever you're struggling with, your addiction. Says, and keep hold of the meaning recovery has brought to our lives. Just for today, it says, I will begin a new pattern in my life, the regular maintenance of my recovery. That daily maintenance that we hear in all the programs that are out there. They're all based from NA or from AA. For the most part, they're all very similar. When I read this reading, the new way of life, a new way of life for me, I can think of so many cliche sayings that just about every program has. The nothing changes if nothing changes. Do I want to stick in the problem? Do I want to stay the problem, or do I want to work today in the solution? It's a choice, and I have to be willing. So that open-mindedness and the willingness comes to mind when I read this. My thought process, I like to call it my stinking thinking. When I run on my own self-will, I break out in handcuffs. 10 times out of 10, I get myself in trouble. If I'm not in handcuffs, I'm not doing the right thing. That's for damn sure. So my thought process, I have to change that from a negative one to a positive one and try every single day, to the best of my ability to stay in the solution. Use those tools in my recovery toolbox that I've been taught and reach out, ask for help when my ass is falling off. When life shows up, we all know life's going to show up. Unexpected things are going to happen. They happen on the daily. No matter what, I just don't pick up when that stuff happens. It's just that simple. They say simple programs for complicated people, trying not to overthink things and overcomplicate things. Well, I can do that, so these are things that I have to do, things that I have to remain vigilant. How many of you heard me say that? Every single day. It's something that I have to do. It's not a one and done for me. It's something that I have to do every single day, whether I feel like it or not. Because if I don't, my disease, it's in the background right now. It's doing push-ups. It's just waiting for me to drop my guard, for me to get complacent. And it's going to attack. And I have to, it's the awareness part of it that I talk about all the time. I'm aware of these little red flags when I start getting complacent, when I start backing off of things that I know I should be doing. Like, it's the awareness part that's really important. And for me, that is a new way of life. Changing my thought process, all the things that I've been talking about. And these are new patterns. These are new behaviors. Changing my people, places, and things is a big part of it. In doing so and doing all this, like, I'm still learning who I am, my likes, my dislikes, who I really am. I didn't know who the hell I was when I was out there using, when I was out there ripping and running. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I disliked. And today I'm learning these things all over again. I'll be celebrating 24, 25, 26 months in a few days, God willing. And I'm just now starting to learn the things that I like, the things that I dislike, and who I am in the service work that I love doing so much, and it's replacing those old behaviors, those old thought processes, those old things that I used to do, the ripping and running that I was addicted to. I was addicted to that chaos probably more than I was my drug of choice. That's why this reading to me personally is really important, because this is a new way of life for me. I had an old timer tell me one time that I'm going to have to get really uncomfortable to ultimately become comfortable. When I first heard that, in an NA meeting in Cincinnati, Ohio. I just looked at the guy like he had three heads. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? You know, Addy, practice brings progress, and it does. And it's progress, not perfection, because we're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. What's important is that we get into the solution if and when those mistakes happen, and we're honest about it. You know, I like to say butt naked honest. If we goof up, it's not the end all be all. At least we're applying and we're trying. You know, those were things that I struggled with. They're things that I never did. I was afraid to try because I'm a perfectionist. I was afraid what other people were going to say, what they were going to think. Like, oh my God, he's doing this. Oh my God, he's doing that. You know, that's absolutely crazy. So, you know, these are all examples of how I personally handle it, how I personally do it. You know, replacing my old behaviors and my old thought processes, my character defects, you know, and it's something that I have to work on every single day of my life because believe me, I probably add it to the character defect list that we can all go out and look up and see on Google, you know, in our AA books, in our NA books, in our CR books, the list of examples of what a character defect is. Well, I have them all and then some. So it's something that I just have to remain vigilant and above me. It's above me every time I go live. I recover out loud. I share. I talk about them. You know, when I make mistakes, I own it. I own that shit today. And I'm just honest about when I goof up. When I'm having a great day, I share. When I'm having a bad day, I share. I shouldn't say I share when I don't necessarily want to share because sometimes I don't. But, you know, sometimes sitting back and listening is not a bad thing. You know, another thing old timers have said and things that I remember, especially in early recovery, which I still consider myself, is to take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth and shut the fuck up and listen, you know, and that's old school. But at times I just need to go into a meeting and I need to sit back and listen. You know, I can't pour from an empty cup. And, you know, sometimes I need my cup filled up. I need to hear the experience, strength, and hope of the wise ones of the program I'm in, because I am not, you know, I'm still learning. And I have to remember that. I have to remind myself. And that is a new way of life for me, to sit back and listen and take suggestion and become open-minded and willing to do that. These are all new things to me. They're still new things to me, even a few years in, guys. Something that I have to do to maintain my recovery every single day of my life. I hope you guys enjoy the weekend. Give yourself a break if you're beating yourself up. Reach out, share, and talk if your ass is falling off or you're struggling, please. And please do that. If you are struggling tonight, guys, please reach out and ask for help. Don't pick up no matter what. Don't call somebody after you've already used and said, oh, I screwed up. Do it now. If you're struggling, please reach out, ask for help. Enjoy your weekend. It's a beautiful weekend. It's nice and cool out. Addie made some homemade veggie soup that is on the stove waiting for me to go smash. And that's exactly what I'm getting ready to do. And probably watch a little TV. I'm enjoying the weekend off. It's nice. Self-care Saturday is what I like to call it. Self-care Sunday. And Monday I'll be back at it. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Holly, hello. You can rewatch it. Yes, yum. I agree. I hope you're doing well. We missed you in the meeting the other night. But I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Please share the stream out. Like I said, you never know who may be struggling and who may need to hear it. I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a great evening, and we will catch you guys later.